Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. Hey, what's up everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and today seems like a good day for an MH3 Play Booster Box battle. Most of you are familiar with how this works, but for those of you who are not, how this thing works is we have 5 participants. We're going to crack this thing open. Each one of them is going to get 5 packs. We're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up the mana values. I say 5 packs, 6 packs. We're going to add those mana values up in the person at the end of this thing with the highest total mana value, the person with the lowest total mana value amongst rares and mythics are each going to get 3 of the remaining 6 packs out of this box. Gonna give these a good shuffle here. Okay. MH3. I still think of the Modern Horizon sets, MH2 is my personal favorite. I would say, gosh, in order. I wonder how to. We haven't really talked about this. Like, what's a ranking for Modern Horizon sets? All 3 of them. For me, it's MH2, then MH3, and then MH1. And it's not that I didn't enjoy MH1, but I think like Hogak kind of spoiled the good time. It had some good stuff in it, but Hogak coming out and just immediately. Well, I guess Nadu was pretty much the same, huh? I don't know. Maybe I just enjoy fetch lands. Maybe that's it. 3 for Almighty Taquito. We got 3, 6. Jeez, 6 for Fop. Got 6 for Q. 6 for Pleaser. And last but not least, we have 6 for Isan, which leaves us with 3 and 3 for the high and the low. Yeah, I think MH2, we'll go 3-2-1. I think MH2 is by far my favorite of the Modern Horizon sets. I know it was uber busted with the Evoke Elementals and Ragavan and some of the other stuff, but I also thought like it just turned the meta upside down. It was viable for a really long time. I know Grief and Fury ended up eventually catching a ban, but there was a good period of time where like they were perfectly fine cards, which is funny to say out loud now. So I don't know. Here we go. Almighty. Start us off. You are going to start off with a power balance. Kappa Cannoneer, 6. Woo. I do enjoy the MH3, and one of the reasons I really started coming back to it more as far as like doing it as content on the channel is bang for buck. I think it's one of the better values out there. Like no boxes, there's no set / box that is like a guarantee, right? I mean, if that were the case, you would just open, sell, rinse, repeat, and that's not how things work. But like bang for buck with the uncommons having a ton of really good $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 uncommons in this, and then having a lot of rares that are like between $5 and $10, and then some really nice top end mythics. To me, MH3 really strikes that balance of what I want from a box opening experience. All right, oh, a little Vexing Bauble foil there, nice. White Orchid Phantom, that is a 2. Single, well, Fell the Profane. There's one of those good uncommons. What's fell between right around $4 or so. So yeah, you got the allied fetch lands. You kind of forgot about those, but those are all now, except for I think Windswept Heath, which is probably still around $8 to $9. I think the rest are 12 and up. All right, third pack for Almighty Taquito. Plains. Thriving Skyclaw. Ooh, mythic. It is a borderless mythic. It is Eladamri Corvadical, blah, 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 blah. But that is a borderless Eladamri. Not my favorite art treatment on that profile picture thing, but a mythic nonetheless, and a Spymaster's Vault, which is a 0, followed by a Jet Medallion. Medallions are a nice touch here in this set as well. We will sleeve up the Eladamri. Not bad. All right. So, and I do like that the play booster boxes for MH3 are still like the full complement of 36 packs as well. 3, 4, 5, still 5, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15. Let me run that back. 2 plus 6, 8, 10, and 15. Now I kept it right. 3, 2, 5, 7, 6, 13, 14, 15. Oh yeah, I did have it right. 15 it is. Okay. Yeah, typically we see from these boxes like 2 to 3 fetch lands. I have seen boxes produce 5. I mentioned some really nice, I mean, the jet medallions, things like that. Like, again, a bunch of uncommons between Consign to Memory and Sink into Stupor and Fell the Profane, Witch Enchanter, etc. It's a fun opening experience, and I think it's a foil mythic. Sorin, House of the House Markers. So we have a borderless mythic and a foil mythic. That's pretty good. Followed by a Amphibian Downpour. Sorin does flip into the Ravenous Neonate. That's cool. Amphibian Downpour. Cephalid Coliseum was a nice reprint as well. Solid reprint slot. We got Phyrexian Tower, and we got the Recruiter, I think, is the other one. Recruiter of the Guard? Or Guards. All right. Second pack for FOP. Here we go. Uncommon Glasswing Grace. Followed by a Springheart Nantuko. Solid rare there. Shrieking Drake and Stable Ambush. Yeah. Okay. That's it there. Third pack for FOP. We have seen, I have pulled what? In a single one of these boxes, I think I've pulled as many as 3 foil mythics in the same box. So it's not, sometimes there's some really good wild variants. Ral and the Implicit Maze as the foil uncommon saga, which is Ripples of Undeath as the rare, which is a pretty good rare. Angel of Ruins, another bauble. And that is going to do it there. So all in all, I felt like a fairly low mana total. 2, 4, 6, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it is. Hugh, we move to you. Foil uncommon is Mindless Conscription. Foil rare is Monumental Henge. So we've seen 2 of those lands out of this, the rare land cycle out of this box. Trawler's not a bad card also, by the way, as far as uncommons are concerned. The ones we really want to see are the green land or the red land. Shifting Woodlands and the Arena of Glory. Those are the 2 rare lands that we would like to see. Aside from the fetch lands, of course. Alright. Gold stamped card. Neat. What is this? Oh, territorial color. Yeah, that's right. Nightshade Dryad. Rare is Detectives Phoenix. Flopsky Dragon. Arcane Spike. Aether Spike as a retro frame. Brain Surge. It's weird to have that as a retro frame common sandwiched in between the uncommons, but sure. Alright, next up. Typical mythic count, I think, for these boxes tends to be sitting in like the 5 to 7 range as well. Alright. Oh, okay. A borderless White Orchid Phantom. I really like the art on that. This card was seeing a bunch of play when the set first came out. Kind of tailed off. Volatile Stormdrake, another card I really like. I like the reimagining of those old cards. Meltdown with energy included. Okay, so what we got going on here? We have 2, 4, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Also pretty low. We've seen no fetch lands yet. I will say, like, I have seen and heard of boxes. I've heard a couple of people comment on some of my openings of this. That said they got like a 0 fetch land box. So I obviously think that's in the realm of possibility. But I would say on average it's like, oh, cute. Gold stamped Philia. It should be around 2 to 3. And again, I think we've personally experienced more 5 or more. Psychic Frog. There's a really good rare. Very nice. Pleaser, we are to you for 3, right? Yep. Okay. Cool. Yep. Frog is not a bad way to start. Really broken, busted card. It's so good. It's really good. All right. When you get banned from Legacy, you've done something terribly right or terribly wrong. This said Vexing Bauble get banned from Legacy, right? As well. Multiple cards banned from Legacy. That's fun. Victimize foil. Rare is Imskir the Iron Eater. That is a big old beefy 8 for mana value. Alright, our value uncommons have been shy so far. They have not wanted to come out and hang out yet. Other than we got, what, one of the Fel the Profanes. But really, if you can get like double Consign to Memory, double Sink into Stupor, double Witch Enchanter, Fel the Profane, like you can easily make 30, 40 bucks back just in uncommons in this product. That is not uncommon, pun fully intended. Strix Serenade, a 1/4 mana value, followed by, ooh, Crick. Holy moly, Son of Yawgmoth, that is a 7 for mana value. Well, Pleaser, that went from low to high to low to high. All right. 7, 8, 9, 10, 18. 8, 9 plus 7, 16, 17, 18 it is. Sheesh. All right, Isan. We have seen 2 mythics, but we've kind of dried up a little bit on those. Granted, the other thing to always keep in mind is that we have 6 packs from this box sitting over on the side. Like one of the last openings we did, I think we had like 3 mythics come out of those 6 packs. Here's another one. Ugin's Binding. I wish it was Ugin's Labyrinth. Ugin's Binding. Solid card, but it has limited playability. It's weird because it is a devoid card, so it's a card with no mana color, but it does obviously have a blue symbol in the mana value, so it has no color, but it has a mana symbol, so it doesn't necessarily easily slot into even the, even the colorless commander decks, but it is a card that does some things. How about Double Mythic? How about Phyrexian Tower? That's what I'm talking about. Phyrexian Tower back over 20. I think this might be pushing 25 again. And anytime I get one of these, I'm like, I'm going to hang on to this. Sundering Eruption, also a pretty good uncommon here. I'll be honest, I was surprised to see them put Phyrexian Tower into Modern. I suppose it's good that they got rid of Grief, because the idea of being able to evoke it and then sack it to get 2 mana seemed pretty busted. But between that and Ugin's Labyrinth, it's almost surprising that neither one of those cards has just broken the format just because of the fast mana aspect. But it's also 2 of those cards where, like, if something were to happen in the future, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not terribly surprised. But Phyrexian Tower is a good one. A couple really nice mythics there. Rare is Winter Moon. Buried Alive, love me that as an uncommon. Very nice. Buried Alive at one point were like $3 or $4 uncommons. Of course, post reprint that faded largely in the very large reprint of MH3, but very good card for some of us Reanimator players. Drownyard Lurker. Next rare is Party Thrasher. Annoyed Allosaur Rush. Alright, well, where are my Consigned to Memories and Sink into Stupors, huh? Okay, so we have ourselves a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, another 7, 2, 4, 7 it is, sure. Alright, well, after that first round here, we have Almighty Taquito with a 15. We have Fop with a 9. Hugh tied for the low with a 7. Pleaser in the high with an 18. And Isan also tied for the low with a 7. Into round 2 we go. Almighty Taquito, back to you for 2. Stump Stomp. Ooh, that's our first fetch land. That's a Bloodstained Mire. Very nice. I like to check the back of the, if you get one of the foils, I've heard that there are misprints with those where the back doesn't match the front. Bloodstained Mire, Almighty Taquito, very nice. That is a 0 for mana value, but a very good card. And then Lelia, the Blade Reforged in that reprint slot. So we are on the board with our first fetch land. I don't hate it. We like fetch lands around here. Me being the Rakdos Grixis player that I am, I love me some Bloodstained Mire. All right, your second pack. Signature Slam. Love the art on that. Rare is a Disruptor Flute. That is a 2. Allosaur, Waterlog Teachings, Dreadmobile. Apparently we're just not going to get any of those uncommons I talked up, huh? All right. All right, box. That is a 5 for mana value. And that brings you to a 20. But it does get you our first fetch land, hopefully more to come. All right, Fop. Currently kind of eyeing for the low with a 9. 2 above Hugh and Isan. All right. Rare is Nadu, Winged Wisdom. Yeah, I did almost forget about you as just an immediately broken card. Probably arguably more broken than Hogak. I don't know. Meteoric Mace, Stump Stump, Vexing Bobble. Like triple bobble so far. Okay. When Nadu came out, I was like, I'm going to unload all of those. Like one of two things happens. It either gets banned or... well, it just seemed imminently to get banned. Alright, Evo Witness. Rare is Dreamtide Whale. Actually, Dreamtide Whale is a pretty good card. 3 for a 7/5. Anytime the player casts a second spell each turn, proliferate. Pretty good. Barbarian Ring, Mogmob. And that will do it there. So we got 3 plus 3, that is a 6. Bringing you to a 15 currently. Hugh, currently tied for the low with a 7. Fetch lands would be your friend right now. Bringing the value and the low mana value. Copy Crook. Rare is Flare of Cultivation, our first of the flares in this box. Flare of Cultivation was another card that people had really high aspirations for, and it didn't quite get there. Philia Exuberant Shepherd. Philia is quite a good card. Trawler again. All right. Yeah, people were kind of picturing Flare, like maybe it slots in Amulet Titan, but didn't quite get there. In fact, none of the flares, I guess like Arcane, Flare of Arcane or whatever it is. What am I thinking of? The blue one, the counterspell. Started seeing a little bit more play, but certainly not to the degree where people are like, oh, more busted free counterspells. Turns out sacrificing a non-token blue creature is a big deal. Here's a mythic. Ooh, Flage. Very nice. Flage is still quite a card. Boros Energy is still one of the top tier decks. I think Modern is fairly diverse right now, but certainly sees play in that deck. Flage is a very good card. And again, none of those uncommons. All right. It's really funny because I remember when the set was being previewed, and of course Flage was previewed, and people were not high on it. Like, it was not a card that people talked up. And here we are. Like, it is. Turns out Lightning Helix on a creature is also, as a 6/6, is also just a pretty good place to be. People were like, oh, it's not Uro, and it's probably not as good as the Rakdos Titan. And I was like, well, apparently it's actually just pretty darn good. That is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brings you to a 15. Flage, pretty good. Nice mythic there. Pleaser, you have an 18. Right now, you were in the high coming into this round. Taquito was, I think, the next closest, but didn't really do much to get there. Currently sitting at a 20, so I guess what I'm trying to say is you're currently in the driver's seat here. Writhing Chrysalis. Invert Polarity. Kind of a messed up counterspell sometimes. That is a 3 for mana value. I'm just going to say, that uncommon slot has not been kind to us. What are we sitting on? 1 Fell the Profane? Like, no Wish Enchanters, no Consign, no Synchronous Dupers? What's up with that? Alright, Phyrexian Worm. Token. Foil rare. Echo of Eternity. That is going to help you in a couple of ways. Sweet card and high mana value, and it's a foil rare followed by Polluted Delta. That's one way to capture the best of both worlds. You get the foil rare that adds a bunch of... There's a Synchronous Duper as well, finally. Sync, I think, is still like, what, $7+? Somebody told me they're running more. I haven't checked recently. But Polluted Delta followed by Foil Echo with a invert polarity in there. So it's a 6, 7, 8, 9. So it puts you back in the high and also gives you a fetch land for your troubles. And the most valuable of the fetch lands is the Polluted Delta. Very nice. All right. Isan, you were tied for the low with a 7 coming into this round. borderless Psychic Frog art there. Wouldn't mind pulling one of those. Mythic, another Eldomri. Sure, why not? That's a 3 for mana value. Victimize. Hey, there's a Witch Enchanter, finally. So Mythic and 3 mana value, not breaking the bank there. We, of course, have Eldrazi in this set, so those as a Mythic, any of them basically can turn a battle upside down pretty quickly. Here we go. Fishy token. Rare is Argent Deus. Oh yeah, little borderless commander that is a Yoti Moag Ancient. That borderless treatment. So there's a little bonus Mythic, if you will. Pinnacle Monk. Not sure that helps you for the low, but here we are. Actually, I don't think I've seen that in the borderless version too much. I have a bunch of them, but I don't know if I have any in the borderless. Kind of cool. All right, so what do we got going on here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 it is. And that will bring you to a 16. It will take you out of the low for the moment, but you are certainly still in the hunt for that. So into the last round we go. Taquito with a 20. Fop in the low with a 15, tied with Hugh with a 15. Pleaser in the high with a 27. And Isan right there in the hunt for the low with a 16. Last round, here we go. We're at 2 fetch lands. We have seen a good amount of mythics. We haven't seen any of the top end, like Cameo and Ocelot Pride, but Flage isn't bad. A couple of Eldomris in there. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Taquito, start us off. Rare is, no Drifter. Hello, that's a 7. Followed by Kappa Cannoneer again. That is a 6. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that Pleaser might be fairly okay with that lead, but boy, with a 13 out of this pack, 7 and 6. That is going to make things incredibly interesting. Fop. You have a 15. You and Hugh tied with a 15. Isan with a 16. Here we go. Rare is Roshin, Roaring Prophet. Single rare pack. Consign a memory. Very nice. So, a 4. Giving you a finished total of 19. This is going to make things interesting, right? It's kind of like right in the middle where it's a pretty low mana value card, but it's not. We know that there's lands. We know there's a bunch of other rares that are single mana, double mana, etc. Here we go. Rare is, Devourer of Destiny. That's a 7. That's not what you wanted to see there, Hugh. That's a 7. Holy moly. Followed by a Sapphire Medallion. All right. So that is a 9 for you. And that gives you a 24 in total. Unfortunately, taking you out of the low and will not be enough for the high either. Pleaser. You are now chasing 6 after Almighty Taquito decided to have a single pack 13 mana value. Have a 27 right now. I have not been tracking mythics. So a 6 to tie, a 7 to take the lead outright. There's a foil mythic. Well, that's probably going to help. That is a borderless foil Brea Ethereum Shaper. Not the highest value mythic, but in this instance, bonus mythic, bonus mana value. I think you'll take that. That is a 4. Beautiful foiling on that. Followed by, wow. All right, second Psychic Frog in this box. That is a Retro Frame Psychic Frog. That is a 2 for mana value. Is there another? Wow, what is this pack? Kalia of the Vast, another mythic, and that is a 4 that will bring back the lead to you in an impressive fashion. How about a borderless foil Brea, a Retro Frame Psychic Frog, and a Kalia of the Vast? That is taking back the high in style. 4, 8, 10. Wow. Gives you a 37, gives you the lead back. Well done. Holy moly. All right. So now for the low. Isan, you have a 16. You are 3 below FOP for the low. So you need a 2 or less to just win outright. 3 goes to breakers. 4 or above does not get it done. Foil common is expanding ooze. Rare is Wrath of the Skies. That is a 2. If this is a single rare pack, appears to be, and it is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is a 2. Wrath of the Skies gives you a finished 18. But to be honest, I didn't quite see it. I was like, I'm not sure that's going to be, it's going to be there. But there it is. That is a 2, a single rare pack, and that will get it done. Really impressive battle. Boy, the high. I didn't think Taquito really had a shot coming into the last round, and then he had a 13 pack. And I was like, well, that's going to make things incredibly tough on Pleaser. And Pleaser goes, you know what, let me just go ahead and pull a couple Mythics and a Retro Frame Psychic Frog to get this thing done. So final results here. Almighty Taquito with a 33. FOP does hold down the low with a 19. Hugh with a 24. Pleaser with that impressive 37. Oh, I'm so sorry. Nope. FOP. My apologies. 19, 24, 37. We just got done talking about this. Isan with the 18. Isan, you have the low. You have the honors. All right. 3 extra packs. Here we go. Gremlin action. Island. Woo! Foil sink in a stupor. That is really nice. Don't mind that at all. Very good pull there. As far as uncommons go, you don't get better than that. Crabomination. And that will do it there. I will actually end up, well, we're at the end of the battle. It doesn't matter. I'll throw that up there now. So don't forget about it. We'll sleeve that up too. All right, next pack. MH3 is a good time, man. It really is. Like I said, I still hold MH2 in higher regard, but MH3 is no slouch. How about a Mythic? How about a Nethergoyf? Very nice. We'll take extra Mythics. I do like Nethergoyf as well. And third pack. Rares, Chthonian Nightmare. Cool. Did you go 3 black rares? I think you did. Symbiote. Null Elemental Blast. Yeah. Okay. Hey. Not a bad showing there. And I will sleeve up the Goyf and the Sink in the Stupor after all is said and done here. Pleaser. Capturing the high. I feel like the Mythic turnout was pretty good. I do think we only ended up at 2 fetch lands to this point. But they were Polluted Delta and Bloodstained Mire, which are tip-top for me. Here we go. Pleaser. About a foil Flare of Malice. Little bonus flare action. Bonus foil. Followed by Primal Prayers. Orum's Chant, very nice. Orum's Chant and I think I heard that Orum's Chant and the Scepter made a comeback. One where you imprint an instant on it. Saw some had a finished top 8 in Modern. All right, second pack. Ooh, foil Consign to Memory. Wow, okay. For all me giving this box guff about these foils not, or these uncommons not showing up, pulling a foil Sink in a Stupor and a foil Consign to Memory is a good place to be. And a fetch line. There's our third fetch line of the box. It's a Heath. Box turned out to be pretty good. For not having, like, especially for like not having a Pride, Ocelot Pride or a Tameo in it, which is like the top of the Mythics. I feel like this box otherwise delivered. All right, Aether Revolt. Ooh, Sylvan Safekeeper, very nice. I think there's still like $6 to $8. And that will do it there. Okay then, so we saw 3 fetch lands. So foil Consign to Memory, foil Sink in a Stupor, foil Flare of Malice, and a pretty good Mythic count overall as well. That is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me, hit the like button for me, and by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much, everybody, and be well.